What's popping, everybody? My name is Aiden, and welcome back to the original old-fashioned tarot channel. Now, today I have part one of a very special two-part set of videos for you guys. This is going to be my unboxing of the new deck that I just got in the mail, literally just today. Earlier today, I just got this in. This is going to be a deck you guys will be seeing very frequently in the near future. Now, I'm going to be showing you about half the deck in this video, and the other half in part two, which will be done tomorrow. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on some notifications, and without further ado, let me show off to you guys what I've got to work with here. Now, something to note about these cards. These are themed after the original Olympian gods and goddesses. For example, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Athena, Hephaestus, those guys. And you'll probably see a few that you might be less than familiar with, but as I do readings of these cards, you'll become more and more familiar with. So let's see what we've got at the top here. First card in the deck, we have... interesting. Aegis' weight. So this is a card of anticipation, hope, and despair, as it clearly says. It's one of the more obscure Greek legends, but it's definitely a legend nevertheless. Okay, set that to the side. Hold on, let me take this rubber band off. It's getting a little bit in the way here. Next up is the Titan Struggle. So this, I love the artwork on this, and this is a very old legend. This is how the gods came into power. Oof. Very nice artwork on that one. Very, very nice. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. Tilt that up a little bit. There you go. Titan Struggle. I love that card. Next up, we've got Tantalus' Punishment. Oh, that's going to be one I'm going to be seeing pretty often, I get the feeling. Oof. I love the artwork on that as well. I love it. That is so well done. Fields of Punishment, people. Fields of Punishment are not fun. Hephaestus' Forge. Oh, love this card. This is artwork. It's just phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Let's see. What else we got here? We have Nemesis' Justice. Nemesis, in case you guys don't know, which you probably don't, is the goddess of vengeance, but she's also technically, in a way, the goddess of justice. Justice is supposed to be blind in Roman mythology, I believe. Now in Greek, she's got her eyes wide open. Interesting. What else we have? You may be familiar with this one. Icarus's Ascent. This is one that even today holds true. I'm sure you guys are somewhat familiar, at least somewhat familiar, with the story of the boy who flew too close to the sun. Icarus. This is where that legend started. Zeus's Thunderbolt. King of the gods. Love that artwork. It just shows him. He's got his lightning bolt in one hand, spear in the other. Not so much a fan of the spear, but that is a way to depict him. It is a way to depict him in a state of power and the king of Olympus. The Gift of Fire. This is a legend I'll have to tell you guys about at another time. But this is a very powerful legend. It has to do a lot with humanity itself in general in the Greek legends. So I definitely have to tell you guys about that at another time. What else we got here? Narcissus' Reflection. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of the problem of narcissistic personality disorder. This is where that originated from. This is where that name originated from. This guy called Narcissus. Became so obsessed with his own reflection because he thought he was so beautiful that he just stayed there looking at himself in the lake and perished. Ah, and how fitting that he should be followed up by the one girl he could never see. Echo's Lament. She was the one who truly loved him for him, and yet she was never seen. Hence her lament. What's we got? Achilles' shield. Ah, I'm sure you guys have heard of an Achilles heel. He was a Greek hero as well. This is an interesting little card here. I've actually never seen his shield before, but it's well made. I must say, very well made. Morpheus's realm. Ah, dreams, illusions. This is sleeping, essentially. Dreaming. Lots and lots of dreaming. Morpheus is the god of sleep, so if ever anyone says to you, I'm heading off into the realm of Morpheus, you know that they're heading off to sleep. Next up, Atlas's Burden. Ah, this is a card I'm sure we're all too familiar with. Responsibility, endurance, and strength. Atlas is doomed to be the only person who can truly bear the weight of the sky. If the sky itself were to ever fall, half of the Midwest would be wiped out. Persephone's Passage. Ah, interesting. So Persephone is the daughter of Demeter, wife of Hades, and this is more of a card of, winter turning into springtime. Hence, you've got the dead side on one side and the bright, happy, joyful side on the other. Next up is the Minotaur's Maze. I'm sure we're all familiar with the legend of the Minotaur. Guy who got trapped in the labyrinth, trying to find his way out. Never able to. On the way, heroes would get sent in there to die. Not a happy time. Platon's Ambition. Ah, another one of the obscure Greek legends, but nonetheless a very valuable life lesson. Don't overextend yourself, people. Don't fly too close to the sun. Artemis's Moon. Ah, the goddess of the hunt. Sure, we're all familiar with her. Wilderness, purity, independence. All things that she is the goddess of, essentially. Well, Pan is the god of the wilderness, technically, but she strides through it, hunts, takes only what's necessary, leaves the rest. The Muse's Inspiration. Ah, so this might be a legend that you might be unfamiliar with. This is Apollo had these helpers called the Nine Muses. You might be familiar with some of their names if you ever heard some of them. But these are basically inspirational figures. Like if you heard the muse of dance, the muse of poetry, that sort of thing. That's what that card represents. Prometheus's Gift. Rebellion, enlightenment, sacrifice. This has to do with that fire card I mentioned earlier. Prometheus, he's a titan, mostly well-liked among the gods, though he did make a mistake or two. Let's see what else we got here. Gaia's Embrace. Ah. This is a very important figure in Greek mythology. Gaia, she is the primordial earth itself. She's the primordial goddess of the earth. She is the earth itself. She is basically the very ground we stand on. And she's in a deep sleep. If she were to ever actually awaken, gods have mercy on all our souls. Ah, the echoes of Apollo. Apollo, as probably many of you know, is the god of the sun, another god of archery, healing, prophecy, among many other things. Very, very nice card, this one. I really like it. Show that to the camera there. There we go. Helen's Dilemma. Ah, Helen of Troy. She's actually, I believe she was one of the Roman figures, actually, which is odd because this is a Greek god deck. But nonetheless, Helen's Dilemma is in here. And this is a card of beauty, conflict, and choice. She was said to be the most beautiful woman in all the world ever to exist. Well, I'm sure some people would beg to differ. She had a lot of conflict and she had to make choices for her kingdom. Cerberus's Watch. So, Cerberus. This is one you may not be familiar with. This, I don't know if you can see, is the guard dog to the underworld, Hades' realm. Cerberus, has 3 heads, and nothing, and I mean nothing, gets past his gaze. He is the Watcher, essentially. The Stygian Deaths. Wow. Even I don't know much about this card. This is, well, as the card would suggest, a card of mystery, death, and fear. Not death as in D-A-T-H, but death as in D-E-P-T-H. So, yes. The Labyrinth's Heart. Ah. So, Labyrinth, at its heart, has the Minotaur. But it also has a potential exit. In that, at the heart of the Labyrinth, lies its own creator, Daedalus. Wonder if he's in this deck. Let's see. Argonaut's Voyage. Ah, this is one I'm very familiar with. The Argonauts. 50 sailors on a long quest to find, I believe, the Golden Fleece. Which, of course, in the end they did. But it was not an easy voyage. Many sailors were lost. Some of the greatest heroes in Greek mythology were lost on this very boat. Dionysus' Revelry. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the god of wine himself. Unfortunately, he can also be the god of madness. Be careful when you dive into Dionysus' realm. May not find yourself coming back out. God, I've got a lot to go here. I might actually split this video up into 4 parts since this deck is just so massive. Whispers of Hypnos. Ah, another one of the sleeping gods. I believe this might be Morpheus' Roman form, actually. I'm not entirely sure. They might be 2 separate gods. I'm not entirely sure. But again, a card of mystery, dreams, and tranquility. Ooh. Nothing on this card. Interesting. The Furies' Pursuit. The Furies are Hades' enforcers. These are the guys that would keep any spirits from the underworld, shall we say, escaping. Justice, vengeance, and remorse, that card says. Well, justice, debatably. Vengeance, probably. Ah, Pegasus' Ascent. So, I'm sure you've all heard of, the winged horses called the Pegasus? Well, Pegasus actually came from the chopped head of Medusa. He sprang right out, fully grown. There was one original one, the Lord of all Pegasi, literally named Pegasus. And he was the one who gave birth to all the future Pegasi in the world. Freedom, aspiration, purity. Purity, maybe. Freedom? Absolutely. Flying is the most free thing of all. Antigone's defiance. Ah. This is a bit of a tragic story, this one. I don't remember it very well, but as the card would say, this is one of integrity, rebellion, and tragedy. Yeah, I think I'm going to split this up into 3 parts. Let's do 5 more. The Golden Fleece! There you go! Just mentioned that in the Argonauts quest. This right here, this is what they were looking for. The Golden Fleece. The best healing that magic can offer. Not even Apollo could do better than this. Achievement, quest, value. Ariadne's thread. This is a very, very sad tale, this one. Ariadne was one of the princesses of King Minos, I believe. I might be mistaken on that, but I believe that's her. And she wove a thread, a magic thread, that would guide the wielder through the labyrinth. Guidance, solution, and trust. Oh, that's not the only way through the labyrinth. No, no. Ares' battle cry. Conflict, courage, and action. Ares is the god of war. So I'd say all these descriptions are accurate on this one. Though I'd also say that this is a card of possibly even sacrifice, since it's a battle cry. He might be going into his last battle, this guy. I don't know if you can see, yeah. He might be very well going into his last battle. Sorry about the noise. Oh, is it? Okay. Final card? Atlas's Reflection. Perspective, burden, and resilience. All those years holding up this guy, despite all that pain he must be in, he's got a lot of time to think on. He has a lot of time to just think about, how he got to this point, what he could have done differently, and just reflect. Puts it all into perspective. So I'm going to cap this video off here. Stay tuned for part 2 and possibly even part 3, where I'll be covering the rest of this deck. And then after that, I will be doing my new 12-card spread reading. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.